Hi, I'm James. I'm part of the Hub Church in Hitchin, and I am here today at our football community, Bridge the Gap Herts. We meet every Tuesday at 6 o'clock to play football, and absolutely everyone is invited to come along and play. Before I became a Christian, I was quite lonely, and unfortunately I think loneliness is an epidemic in our culture, and particularly amongst young men. Ultimately, I believe now that Jesus is the solution to that loneliness, but I think lots of young men just aren't in a place where they're ready to step through the doors and go into church. But lots of young men are willing to go to football, and so when I became a Christian, I felt a really strong calling to create a church-like space in football, to kind of make church go beyond the church doors and have a space here where we know that everyone is welcome, everyone is invited, and the culture is so different from other spaces you might see in the world, but particularly other football spaces.
I moved to North Hertfordshire about 3 years ago, and I was looking for somewhere to play football. I found Bridge the Gap, and it's a great community full of lovely people, and it's one of the reasons why I love coming. I come every week.
Yes, I've been coming Bridge the Gap for just over 2 years now. Met a lot of new people. I've reconnected with some people that I knew when I was younger. It's just good fun to do a bit of exercise during the week.
I've been coming to Bridge the Gap for about 2 months now, and it's been good to just come and have a bit of a laugh, good kick around, and it's also good to join a cause where Christ is at the centre.
To be honest, before we started, I was a little bit scared that no one was going to show up and we were going to lose loads of money as a church. And we did start pretty small. We probably had about 12 people in the first week, but in the first year or so, we had a massive amount of growth. And since then, we've had lots of ebbs and flows. But I think the amazing thing now is that we have a really stable network of people. There's just so many amazing friends I have now that I would feel comfortable going for a walk with, going for coffee with, but not just that, also inviting to things like church or Alpha. More than one young man has said to me that actually Bridge the Gap has changed their life in some way. I can think of one young man in particular who came on Alpha in our first year of Bridge the Gap and then ended up becoming a Christian, a regular churchgoer, and also just a few different stories of young men who love football but maybe aren't the best players and felt like they had no space to go and play football. Them saying, actually, I've been able to play football, I feel like I'm valued and good enough because of Bridge the Gap. That's amazing, and I think that's such a reflection of the kingdom and of Jesus. The Hub is by no means a big church, we're a small church, and we took a big risk starting Bridge the Gap in terms of people resources and financial resources, but we've seen God do so many amazing things through football.